Hello everyone and welcome back to some more Pentiment. Last we were here, we witnessed a wee bit of heresy. Yep, just a tiny little bit. Coming from tiny people as well. And Otto is planning on defying the abbot pretty blatantly. So dinner with the abbot should be fun. Hello, brother Prick. I'm sorry, brother Gee. Andreas. Okay, need to go to the abbot's house. Let's go through the cloister. Is anyone in this chapter house that I can say hello to? Does not look like. Large garden. And there is the abbot's house. But first, hello, Miraculous. Have you been a good boy? Yes. Yes, you've been a good boy. Yeah. Always pet the doggo. Ah, Father Gurno. Bless you, Andreas. I'm glad to see you received my invitation. Are you ready to eat? Yes. Good. Such amicable conversation. Very not tense. Andreas, thank you for coming to dinner. Surprised to receive your invitation. I will admit I was surprised to receive an invitation, Father, but I'm pleased to come. Yes, well, when I heard you had returned to Tassing, the Lord con- the Lord convicted my heart to let bygones be bygones. I think it's high time we reconcile, Master Mahler. Please sit and we will pray together. That's very kind of you, you know. Bless us, O Lord, and these are gifts which we are about to receive from your bounty. Lord, direct us each of us here toward your wisdom, prudence, and guidance in our future actions, yada yada yada. Request our Lord. Amen. Brother Voislav was indeed prompt in delivering my message. I'm surprised you deemed dropped by at all. You have done quite well for yourself, after all. It's good to see that your time at Kirsa was not squandered. It's interesting to see that while the peasantry are suffering, the abbot's table is very, very well furnished. Even looked apart for a famous artist now. What have you been doing in recent years after leaving such a mess in Tassing? That's how you try to reconcile Master Artemis in Nuremberg. Commission of Mary and Christ waiting for me in Nuremberg. I spent. I have a commission of Mary and Christ, but my patron wants to keep adding more of his associates in. I am dreading going back to it. Surely the Lord will grant you the strength to succeed in such a difficult endeavor. To such a difficult endeavor. Right. Why'd you really invite me here, Father? In truth, I had hoped to discuss the rising tensions between the Abbey and townspeople. You being a prick, right? I'd like to clarify the situation for you, Andreas. Of course, just like you clarified that Piero was guilty all those years ago. Hmm. Clarify what exactly? People want to ensure you understand the circumstances objectively, from all angles. I believe you've only heard from one side of the issue, Andreas. All those little speeches about taxes don't account for the entire situation. Why demand such high taxes then, Father? So we can have pheasant and plum pudding and pie and shit. With the with the scriptorium closure, the taxes are necessary to make up for the lost income. Then why close the scriptorium at all? Uh, yeah, they didn't. Surely there's another option. Do you really need to raise taxes that much? Rodiki has gone over the Abbey's expenses carefully, Andreas. Raising taxes is the best way to cover these costs. Brother Guy, of course. What about prohibiting the peasants from the peasants from using the forest? That's a new restriction. The forest belongs to the Abbey, and the peasants have no right to use it. Legally, it's theft. Property is theft, you prick. The land belongs to all. True, Swabian and Bavarian law allow you to control the land as you wish, but the peasants are saying these restrictions go against God's divine law, not any imperial rule, father. God in his wisdom established the church with his law, and they would do well to remember that. Doesn't God's law account for graciousness and charity? Peasants have exhausted my graciousness and charity for too long already, and have little regard for the church's authority itself. The monastery and church exists to help stop such foolishness, and to help regulate mankind's sin and greed. Sure, regulate greed, of course. The peasants and townsfolk have gone too far. I hear they continued their disobedience by collecting herbs on St. John's Eve. The whole town knows I've forbidden it. The matter is grave, and I will excommunicate anyone who defies my order. Do you have the power to excommunicate people? I'm not sure you do. I'm pretty sure it needs to be a bishop, at the very least. Condemn the town over something so petty. That is up to them. Remaining impartial will be impossible as long as you're in town. Support me in this foolish rebellion. You have a reputation in town, Andreas. You're a successful man, and the townfolk believe they are like you. I'd like you to convince the other townfolk, the printer, for example, that this surprising is not in their interests. The rest of the town will follow, and the peasants will have no chance to resist. We can end this peacefully. I don't want to get them harm. Peasants have genuine grievances. Why not talk with them and negotiate? Yeah, peasants have genuine grievances. Why not talk with them and negotiate? I'm a forgiving man, but Otto's stubbornness has challenged even me. Otto is past the point of talking, Andreas. That's why I'm begging you for help in the matter. Please, take more time to think about it. I apologize, we must conclude for now. I must excuse myself. I'm expected to lead the service at Compline tonight. Think on what we've discussed, Andreas. I trust that you will find your way out. I will, Father Rabbit. Good night. Motherfucker comes here saying we want to reconcile, and turns out it was all bullshit. Of course it was. All he wanted was to lobby my favor, and he wasn't even nice about it. No, I'm sorry for being such a prick to you, Andreas. Pet the cat. Always pet the cat. And the doggo. Hello, Smokey. Oh, hello, Master Mallory. Looking well. Thank you, Smokey. How are you? Well enough, I guess. Vaslav went his way a few years ago. Yep. Which I suppose was bound to happen. I miss the company sometimes, but now there's no one to keep me from my gossip. No one to tell it to either. Always partial to a few tidbits of information. Do tell Smokey. Half of the year's wood taxing will be burning by the end, Master Mahler. And nearly all of them in the Abbey. Oh, I did see another Imperial Reich Post. Yes, Reich Post. Private mail service run by the firm and taxes from Taxes family and approved by the Holy Roman Empire. Courier right from the Abbey a few days ago. Brother Guitar dropped the pack once. It looked heavy. The Abbey must be doing better than the Abbots like now. Hmm. Does that happen often? Once or twice a month. Odd with what the Abbot has been saying about the Abbey struggling. Doesn't help that the Abbot has tightened restrictions so close to St. John's Eve, too. Townsfolk get up to all sorts of mischief then. Sort of mischief. In which Johann and Kat will find some corner to play in again. It's practically tradition at this point. Veronica and Brigida will go out for a midnight dip by the waterfall too. They've been swimming out there for years. Everyone's getting clever, trying to stay out from the Abbots. Rightly so, he's an ass. Receiving the town commons during Otto's speech, aren't you standing with the peasants? Well, their cause doesn't really affect me, does it? I'm as worried as anyone about soldiers rushing through here, but the new taxes and restrictions don't bother me. I understand why they're upset, but I've been doing fine out here. Unless, less than they have. Nothing will change for me if they go their way. If they got their way. Could still support them. I don't want to get involved. I'm fine as I am. Supporting them would be the proper Christian thing to do, I guess. But when have any of them done the Christian thing for me? It's a thing called solidarity. And the Christian thing is to help without expecting anything in return. It's the giving that counts. You provide a useful service. Take pride in that. Pride is a sin, Master Mahler. Ah, all I want is fairness. Decency. I've given them my work for years, but they refuse to treat me right. They mock me for my blind faith since I have to keep a constant eye on the kiln for days on end and can't go to church as often. They laugh all the way I sting, at the way I sting. Can't help that, you know. And it must be even stronger of heart to forgive them for their follies. I'm not sure I have it in me. Oh well, enough of that. Thanks for stopping by, Mr. Mahler. Till later, Smokey. Till then. No more. No more people. This Jay said John's Eve's supposed to be tonight or something? Oh well. It are artists, the one who lived with the Gurners. Mixed up in the wonderful killing of that rat, the Baron. Yes, Andreas Mahler. I know your damn name. Anyway, no time to talk now, fancy man. It's time to call to the fire. St. John's Eve mean a lot to you? Saint's Eve, right. How the... What? The fuck are you saying? Outer ends mama pta. Right there. Zordine cast throughout party. Not sure what. It's probably Latin, but off the top of my head, I'm not sure what it's supposed to be. Veve Nusclemanti. It's some sort of prayer to the pagan goddess. You are trying to look like a witch, aren't you? Oh, alright. I'm good to go. Enjoy the evening, Andreas. But if you want my advice, stay out of the woods tonight. Fucking hell. He is trying to look like a witch. Master Andreas, look at how big the bonfire is. The decorations are so fancy. It's a big festival. Such as this is a big event for Tassing. Missed it last time I was here. Haven't you ever been to a festival like this, Gasper? I've never seen anything like this. Can I stay at the bonfire to see the costumes and watch them collect herbs, Master Andreas, please? No, best not. Best, like, I want to stay, but the kid, best not to get the kid to piss off the abbot. Okay, it's late. We're not gonna piss the abbot. Alright, fine. Andreas? The bonfire looks great. Yeah. You told me to... I'm sorry. Look, I don't need any more apologies. Got nothing to do with them. The past is in the past. God will measure ourselves in the end. Virginia and Martin look happy tonight. Do they? Most people look happy tonight. I suppose. That's the occasion. Haven't seen Brigitte this happy in a while, though. Been through a lot. Still managed to keep their hearts firm. Little Ursula, grown-up little Ursula is so adorable, and Anna with my old hat is so fancy, adorable. Martin's become become far more responsible a man after his return. I just wish... Never mind. You wish Wolf hadn't been lost. Died, Andreas. Use the word. Yes, I wish Wolf was alive. I mourn the boy, and all those years later. I hope you take up my mantle. I wanted to pass on my knowledge and trade. Rest in peace, Wolf. May God keep his tiny soul safe. Perhaps Vegeta will have another while I live. She seems happy enough with Martin. I'd love to hear the clatter of small feet again. A boy to hold a chisel and mantle and mallet. Little stonemason making his grandfather proud. I hope your wish comes true. God willing. Limbs of an old man. I don't want to keep you from the festivities, Andreas. Go, enjoy yourself. Same to you, Lucky. Until that, later. And I need a second, sorry about that. My apologies, I had to call. Evening, Andreas. Hey, how do you like the bonfire? We built it nice this year. big and sturdy. It's a fine setup, guy. Excellent. Why does it give me options to be a brick and this time? For fuck's sake. It's a fine setup, Carl. Excellent work. I know we can't compare to where you come from, but we'll still give it our all. In celebration of the light who prepared the way for our Lord. Anton, do you remember Andreas Mahler, the master artist? Yeah, I've seen him around town. Son, be polite. Hello, Master Mahler, how are you? Well, I am well, thank you, young man. Anton's a good boy, let me tell you. Bit of a rascal, as you can see, but he's got a good heart. And a good heart. Likes to hide it, though. Dad, will you stop? Easy to rile up. Just like your mother. How is Elena? Did she not attend the bonfire? He'll tell us later. He went with Martha to dip their toes in the stream and to pick some flowers for the garlands and wreaths. Yeah, garlands and wreaths. It's important to hold the traditions. You're right, especially with the times we're having. Are these more pagan customs? Shh. I'll say anything. It's just coincidence that that a lot of Christian rituals and festivities have a lineage that can be fairly clearly traced back to pagan rituals. It's pure coincidence. You're right, special times we're having. Thanks. Maybe Martha and Helena will come across the blossom of a fern out there. What's so funny about that? Ferns don't flower. That means no power to speak with animals. Ferns don't flower. That means no power to speak with animals for you, boy. In Poland, young couples go to the woods together, searching for the fern. It's like an engagement ritual. I like that, as long as they also make their vows before God. Will I be going to the woods with a girl soon? Well, and it's not the time, nor the company to talk about that. Is there a girl you want to go to the woods with, Anton? Let's just enjoy the celebrations. Speaking of what you think of the festival so far, Anton. It's fine, I guess. I like the fires when they are lit. The mountains get to twinkle like the stars. I don't like when people get drunk and rowdy as the night goes on. They get into fights and all. That keeps the devil away, right? Yeah. He doesn't like it when those damn bastards go too far. Goddamn bastards. Taking the Lord's name in vain, aren't we? Language, boy. God doesn't look kindly on blaspheming. Those are your words, Dad. I learned it from you. Best you don't quote me. Quote the scripture instead. It's better for your soul. You listen to your father, Anton. I will. I do. Jesus. Hey, what did I just say? Don't let your mother catch you with that mouth. Well, I'll let you get back to the festivities now. It's a pleasure. Until later, Andreas. Bye. Why, Martin, look who it is. Good evening, Andreas. Andreas, you're staying for the festival, I hope. She's staying. Who would miss this, especially after your burly boys built such a beautiful bonfire? Burly boy like me would do anything for you, though. Couldn't help myself. Oh, for God's sake, get a room. You're both feeling very festive, I see. The food, the fires, the dancing, it's really a night to enjoy. It's to honor the anniversary of the birth of our Blessed John, a vigil of for he who has prepared the way. Yes, yes, and he'd have liked everyone to have a good mood in their hearts, and good food in their bellies. As a hermit who wandered in the desert living off locusts and wild honey, he probably wouldn't agree. I'd like to live off some wild honey myself, if you catch my meaning. What's like? So we're going to heed Otto's call and go into the forest? I'm really not looking for trouble. There's enough of that going around. Even though I supported him earlier during his speech. And you, Vegeta, not gathering any herbs? My place is by my Martin's side. The word of the abbot is the word of the church. It's improper to go against the word of the church. Only slightly less improper than the time you spent with Veronica. Oh, Vegeta, I'm sorry. It was a joke. Came out poorly. It's good for the heart to have cherished friends. It's fine. Yes, I was about to say, the bonfire is enough. We will dance until our legs begin to waver, right, Martin? But not miss it for the world. That's delightful. I hope you have a great evening. It was well, Andreas. Until later. Hello, Master Mahler. Evening, Till. Enjoying the festival? Very much so. I perhaps feel a tad old for the... For the what? For the more active side of the celebrations, but I enjoy the sights and sounds. Did you know the word for the summer solstice back? Did the word for the summer solstice leads back to the Romans? Thought you didn't read Latin. I've picked up a few words here and there over the years, and I still have the mind you put two and two together. Ibidium facti qui copes habet sapere aude. Thank you for translating. I was trying to do it in my head, but I was drawing blanks. He who has begun as I have done, dare to know. Yes, Beatus homo qui eminit sapientiam. Happy is a man who finds wisdom. That one I understood. It's not much, I admit. Proverbs and the occasional word. Hence, solstitium. Such as it looks at this time of year, the sun rises higher for a long time, and then it stays there, before falling again. Fitting allegory for the great cosmic arc of mankind, rise and fall. But to make up for that, dancing, leaping, songs, joy and mirth. People do simulate it about. I don't think the same applies to Abbot Kermit. You know. Others courting danger, I agree. Going against the decrees of the Abbey like so. The festival has always had rebellious streak of jest and mockery. I don't see it as sacred as some. Has to be sacred enough for the church not to condemn it as heretical. True enough, Master Mahler. I wish I could read more about all this. Well, with the Abbey selling books from their library, I hoped I could get some for myself, but proved to be far too expensive. Faust and his paintings have proven to be of more use, and a fair bit cheaper. Have you come across any interesting to it? Does this mean you've read the 12 articles? I have. But that is not talk to be had in this eve of celebration, Master Mahler. I see your point. Oh, have you maybe come across some interesting tales? I have indeed, Master Mahler. Or, I didn't quite understand everything. The text was in Latin. It was by a Roman named Strabo, and it was about geography. That's why I noticed it. Ah, a noted philosopher and historian, who's actually Greek by birth. Imagine you were reading his Geographica. Yes, that could have been it. The book was about many kinds of barbarians, which also included the Reti tribe I read about years ago. The people who used to live on this very land before the Romans arrived. He called this place Ratium, and described it as a cluster of what? Cluster of small, maybe, small huts and its people, hostile and warlike, only interested in hunting and fighting. There was something about Manos and his sons, but I couldn't understand a lot of it. In any case, when the Romans came, most of these locals were driven out, but some were captured to work in the fields and the mines. What happened to the workers, to the locals were forced out? No idea. I should imagine that after the Romans were driven off, when their empire started falling apart, maybe the barbarians came back. But were they really the same people or nomads from elsewhere? I guess we may never know. Thank you for the quick history. I'll let you get back to the festivities. Enjoy yourself tonight, Master Mala. Until later. Good evening, Andres. Nice to see you here. Grandpa, look who it is. Hey? Oh, the artist. You're still around? I thought to stay and enjoy the festivities. Ha! You call this a festival? You haven't seen nothing yet. Not going to tell the story again, are you? You kids need to learn it by heart. Else Spectre will run you down. Yes, this is about the wild hunt. Yes, it draws near. Heed my warning. Grandpa, you're getting agitated again. It's not good for your health. Nonsense, I can outlive any bastard out there. So, where was I? Guessing you were about to regale me with a tale of the traditions of this mountain. The wild hunt? Yes. Did you bring your mask? Didn't realize I was supposed to bring one. Bah, the fools have to suffer. The masks are to protect us to protect us as we banish the witches and spirits into Pecta's path. She punishes all humans she finds in the woods on St. John's Eve, since only witches are out in the wilderness. Anyone caught will be turned into animals. No one but the priest can turn them back. Can then turn you back. I guess you can imagine a worse punishment. You joke, artist, but you won't be laughing when Pecta finds you. Stay indoors tonight if you want to come outside. Stay inside the light of St. John's fire. At least St. Satya blesses the herbs in the forest this night. And the woman will gather the herbs regardless of that bastard rabbit. It's certainly important to stockpile some for the winter. Thank you for teaching me more about local traditions. Eh. Hey, Big York. You grab some of those ashes with you after the bonfire has died down. Fine. What are the ashes for? It's to spread across the garden, and ensures a good harvest. Figures you city people don't know shit. I feel like that, Grandpa. Now that story time is over, how are you enjoying the evening so far, Andreas? Spoken to a few other people here, very enlightening. It's the best time to spend time with your friends. Have you heard anything interesting? Ah, gossip. You two are like that burner in the forest. Smokey, that's the one. Always nosy about other people. Also been invited to have dinner with the abbot, I guess. The talking never stopped. It has been fun to hear what people think about St. John's Eve. Maybe you'll get a few dances as well. Andreas? Ah, brother, not. I hope I'll get the chance to dance with my dear. Can't see why you couldn't. Figure's right there. Yes, figure. Ah, interesting. Well, I should keep you from the night's celebrations until later. Oh, yeah, Veronica and Brigida. Of course. Yeah, definitely. Interesting. We've been spending a lot of time together. Andreas? Salutation, Andreas. Most wonderful to see you here. I see you two have met. You want an inventor. Like all manner of mechanical contraptions filled with gears and levers, other such delights. Andreas is a man of the mind. Why shouldn't he find interest in my work? For all the use it is. The mind of the inventor exists to create, to build, to go one step further. One step further toward the garbage heap. Very inspiring thought, Walters. It makes sense to also be rude to your friends, Werner. A very inspiring thought, Walters. I thank you, Master Artist. Speaking of, have you had the chance to look around town tonight? I imagine the sights could also be inspiring for your artistic mind. Testing certainly looks cheerful with the decorations and bonfire. Indeed, look at their peasant ingenuity. Consider the bonfire itself. It's built to allow the air and the heat to flow through at great speed, and how it roars. Clever piece of construction, but Otto's a clever man. Speed almost worthy of a university degree. These people have natural traditions, and manage to figure out many clever things without even the most cursory education. It's knowledge that hails from preceding generations, lived experience passed along the chain of time. Not quite the knowledge of a rigorously educated mind, perhaps, but nonetheless useful. You don't need a university education to be smart. Of course, you would say that. Neither of you know these people like I do. God has assigned them their place in the order of the world, for good reason. There's some merit in learning from the peasants, even you were. Given their understanding of herbal remedies, their traditions are profane. Consider the Eve of St. John, tainted by their pagan rituals. It's an affront to Christ. Saint Eligius warned against precisely this nearly thousands of years ago. Patron Saint of Goldsmiths, Bishop of Noyon-Tournai, worked tirelessly to convert the pagans of Flanders to Christianity. And nothing has come of these pagan festivals all that time. Where did this newfound piety come from? Don't pretend to know anything about me. I've been on the pilgrimage to Aachen. Located at the western edge of the Rhineland, Aachen is an ancient city built around thermal baths that houses the remains of Charlemagne as well as many other relics. I visited the Marian Shrine and stood in the presence of those holy relics. Ornate golden reliquary in Aachen Cathedral, which holds the swaddling clothes and loincloth of Jesus. I asked the loincloths of Jesus, the Virgin Mary's dress, and the decapitation cloth of John the Baptist. Allegedly. To be in the presence of St. John the Baptist's beheading cloth was an experience I will never forget. John the Baptist, prophet and forerunner of Jesus Christ, had his name Jesus. He was responsible for baptizing Jesus. He was beheaded at the command of Herod Antipas. I'm glad you have an experience. Your partner must be proud. They are. Right. Now I think it's time to return to the festival. We're here to celebrate. I'll let you continue with your evening then. Good night. A very good night. Oh, and do come by my workshop, Master Mauer. I would love to exchange ideas. My pleasure. Splendid. Until then. Mauer. Oh, I want to click on the... Yes. This one fire more simpler than the one in Nuremberg, but it's pretty all the same. But looking at the time, it is time for us to end this episode. I apologize for my voice, I have a bit of a cold. Hopefully I will be better when it's time to record the next episode. For now, thank you very much for watching. Please do remember to like, comment and subscribe to all of the things that make the algorithm happy. I will see you all next time.